frankly, it is a very, very tough thing to do.
It will create problems.
What were the biggest challenges as a woman in leadership that you faced?
I was amongst only and only male members.
So is balance actually a myth, or do you have a secret code? Oh, I have to do this also, I have to do that also. What is the secret sauce? How do you manage your emotions during those times? Learning to say no to things that you don't want to do right now. This is my Ziddi moment. I am getting Ziddi over what I want for myself. इन चीज़ों के लिए कभी regret महसूस होता है कि
जब मैंने मेरे बेटे को समय नहीं दिया.
Is there a signature style to what you are wearing?
लुंगी और टी-शर्ट और क्या होना चाहिए यार.
बहुत बढ़िया. To the most interesting segment, one habit that keeps you productive. One skill every working woman must learn. Lot of young women today struggle between making boundaries with family, for work, right? Work is peeping into personal life is peeping into work life, mixing things, and because of that mixing there is a lot of confusion that is created in life. So how do you advise the younger ones to have set a boundary for themselves, and do we need to set it in every phase of life, like if for everything there should be a boundary, or things can be free flowing?
See, it's not easy to let things go free flowing, because when you have to bring in a balance and you have to have your peace of mind, you should set boundaries. So I would rather say boundaries is not always about shutting people out of your way and telling them that no, you're not required here, or probably I won't do this. It's about setting a limit to yourself. For example, you see, when you're back home from work, your phone should be put up on a silent mode. If you are back home, your kid needs your time, your family needs your time. You need to be there mentally, physically, and not just, for the sake of being there. So if you are attending calls, official calls, which are not that important, can wait till tomorrow for you to return to work, I think you should set a boundary over there. There should be a practical habit of when you are at work, you're at work. You are not chatting with your kids, you're not chatting with your husband the whole day, or, attending relative calls, or, just cracking some, gossips over the call during your work hours. The same expectation is when you're back home. So I think this we should put a boundary to first. Second is how you make yourself set that sometimes certain things do not work with boundaries. So there are urgencies sometimes which you need to attend. So you can't be so strict that if your child is trying to get in touch with you, is not feeling great or not happy, you are not picking up the call during the office hours. So you can't have the boundaries always. But these boundaries really work to balance, and usually women in their, or maybe for that matter male members also, but here when we are specifically talking about women, because she's the one who is expected to manage both work as well as home, I believe basic boundaries should be there, but you should be flexible, keep them open so that you can, as per the requirement, you can adjust yourself. Be flexible in those. That's it.
That's a very, very elaborate explanation of where to set the boundaries actually, and it is frankly a very, very tough thing to do, because we are always intermingling work with personal life and personal life with work. When we are at work, we are having a friend phone call or like, yeah, like kaisa, and when we are at home, then we are like, oh, work ka call aaya hai, it's very urgent, I need to take.
So you can't stop those calls, but what you can do is you can minimize the time given to that call. You see, chal koi nahi, baad mein call karti hu, I'll talk to you later in the evening. So you can always go back home and continue with your discussion. That doesn't mean that you are pushing that person not to call you again. But yeah, sometimes if you're free, you can always probably start doing a call. Nobody stops you. But if you do not set boundaries between your work and personal life during the time of the day which is required for work specifically or which is required for family specifically, it will create problems. It will start it will start jumping in your personality also. It's definitely going to affect your work as well as your own peace, both.
Yes, that's absolutely true. So, like one more thing when we talk about professional life, right? So we have to understand that you have worked in basically two male-dominated industries. One is the corporate law, and the other is banking sector. So, what were the biggest challenges as a woman in leadership that you faced in these two sectors?
I think, Chinmay, I should thank you for, first of all, having this question acknowledged that we women definitely and must have faced the challenge of getting recognition in the leadership field for ourselves. Yes, it has been challenging, though in corporate, like in the banking sector, there were challenges, but not too many. With the work culture being more towards non-gender biasism, and there were open communications and things. I think when we started working, I mean 25 years back, probably there was a hitch in my mind because I come from again from a very traditional Marwadi family wherein I don't see any of my elder or younger cousins other than me stepping out and working, specifically the girls from the family. So it was a different environment for me, but I always aspired to work. So a lot of expectations did not come out, when I started stepping into the new world of sitting between male members also and working towards my goals. I was not very opened up to, creating a space for myself, taking myself into those, high leadership roles also. Gradually, when I started into sales and marketing divisions, I wasn't very confident. But the entire game changed, you see, when the first sales happened to me and I started believing into myself that I am no less than any male colleague of mine and I can do everything I want to achieve. And there was a complete paradigm shift of from my own thought process. Well, there was no male member who would have discouraged me to not do this. Rather, I would say there were male members only who encouraged me. They introduced me to this the power within me which was there, that I can do things, I can convert businesses, and I can also stand like any other successful men would have been there in the banking industry. And that's how it changed the thought process. I started struggling for myself. I started looking myself into those high seated positions in the banking industry, and I think I was able to achieve them faster than anybody else would have done in the same era. I think there was not a single private or a multinational bank where I was not offered like any other male members would have been. So, that's how. And I started enjoying my work also in the same way. Again, if I have to tell you, the second shift that sorry, इसको काट देते हैं फिर आगे बोलते हैं. So when I changed the industry, that was the time when I realized I was amongst only and only male members. An industry where people are there for more than 30 years, 20 years, 25 years. And, I used to see myself as the only female initially. Now that we have a lot of female staff, it was a little, scary for me initially, but I never looked back. There was a lot of confidence within myself and also a lot of support that came from my management team, from my bosses also. The kind of environment that I was from when I worked in a corporate, then I shifted to the handicraft industry. It was definitely from, a complete changeover, which one cannot imagine. So it's very difficult to absorb that kind of environment. And specifically when you do not have too many females around you. Rather, I think I was the only one for a few years, and gradually I got a lot of female colleagues. And even you see there, if you it all depends on how you are, talking. If you are being very soft, they take you very lightly.
Yeah.
If you are being little aggressive, they quote you in a different way.
Yes.
So for a woman, I have seen it's very difficult for her to first analyze, how you should be reciprocating in such an environment, which starts judging you with your tone of voice, with what communication that you are going to do, or you have done a communication which isn't suiting the male person. So, to adjust through that, some sacrifices that you have to do is to be more calm than required, ignore a lot of things, and keep thinking on your larger goals. Otherwise, you will every day you can feel like, why should I come here? What makes me, work with these people? But certainly, one thing that I have been telling to myself is that every next place that you go and you face another new challenge, one common challenge will be you will be surrounded by men always. So the sooner you learn to adjust with them, sooner you learn to address to them, and the sooner you learn to make them understand that your place is there. Nobody can move you. Gradually, things will change. It doesn't change overnight, but I'm sure if you keep trying the same thing and don't give up, you will have your place.
Having it all, कि सब कुछ है, हमने प्रोफेशनली भी मैनेज कर लिया, हमने पर्सनली भी मैनेज कर लिया, हमने सोसाइटी को भी मैनेज कर लिया, ये सब सुनने में ना बहुत मिथिकल सा लगता है. तो इज बैलेंस एक्चुअली अ मिथ, और डू यू हैव अ सीक्रेट कोड टू when you're, because when we hear your story, we have never seen you fretting over something ki I have to do this also, I have to do that also. What is the secret sauce? How do you manage your emotions during those times?
See, I would say having it all it sounds like a double-edged sword, you see, because it's different for different people. Maybe for some it is you have to balance between your personal life, your family life, your work life, commitment to your friends, so many things together. And the first thing that comes into my mind when you talk about balance is prioritizing. Because until you prioritize and you start saying no to certain things and bring something closer to you that you have to achieve this first, probably that's how you can manage. That's the only mantra. I don't think there is a mantra which is common for every other women to balance their life. It's different for different women, different,
But I completely get your point that just simple ways of learning to say no to things that you don't want to do right now versus the things that you need to prioritize.
Absolutely.
So there has to be a list, basically.
Absolutely.
This is my first, this is second, this is third, this is fourth.
Absolutely. And that list runs in your mind, and it's different on a different day. It's not necessary it's the same each day. Each day is a new day, which has, sometimes work is prioritizing, sometimes the kids are in your priority. But you need to clearly understand what you want to do first, what is more important for you.
So how do you take that call? So because when we go out to work every day, we feel the work is the most important thing in life. And when I'm with my son, then I'm feeling that he's the most important thing. Everything else should go.
It's very simple. You have to see that which one can create more mess for you if you don't do it first. Probably you have to choose that first.
That's a beautiful way of going about things, and that's actually a very, very good way about going about things. So yes. Prioritizing is something that
Absolutely.
we can take, and it has to be every day, according to you, that we cannot have a single peculiar list of this is what my life and my priorities are. Like, when we are discussing it with our friends in our in our friend circles as millennials, so we basically try and set a set pattern. This is my family circle, this is my friend circle, this is my best friend circle. So, and so the priority circle does not work like that. That is what.
Absolutely, absolutely. It doesn't work like that. You have to, it depends on each day how and what need to be prioritized. And if you start looking at everything in a same way, you can never balance it. You have to give something more important on a certain day, and the other thing can come later. And you have to make yourself satisfied first before satisfying others. If you are satisfied, you are okay with what you want to do first, I think you can convince others.
That's great. So, like, uh, when you're a working woman, right? When you go out for a professional, this thing, there is a sense of feeling that, I'm spending less time at home. And it's the other way around also, that women who are not working, who are at home, homemaking, they are having a sense of feeling that I should have given some priority to my professional career.
Absolutely.
So, what are those emotions, and how do you juggle between those emotions, and how to basically manage those emotions?
So, like most years of my early years of my career, I have been a banker, and you can always imagine how a retail branch banking person, or a person who is running to source accounts, source business on a daily basis. Since morning till night, we used to have that kind of a lifestyle. Even it's bad to comment now, and since now I am out of this banking segment, but we used to eat in office, we used to kind of sleep with our office thoughts. There was no time for family. I had a young son around that point in time when I was in banking, and certainly I missed seeing him grow up in my arms, probably play with him, and give him that quality time as a mother that I would have given. Yes, of course, I miss those days. Now he's grown up, but certainly when you look at some things in your past, or maybe your early years of your career, when you're building your career, there are things that you might have sacrificed at home, which pays. Now, I would not say that wasn't important or was not in my priority, but then it was getting managed. My husband used to play that role instead of me. He was our priority, but we never sacrificed onto that priority. Of course, I wasn't, playing that role, but he was there for him. So again, it's different from a family to another family, from a woman to another woman, that how and what she needs to manage. If that point in time I would have thought, no, I can't go out and work, I have to be with him, probably I would have been just a mother. I could never have worked. The child also gave me a lot of opportunity to go out and work, because even he used to, be so good at home that coming back home, I never used to, daily, I never used to feel guilty about it. We used to play over weekends and stuff. So we managed.
Yeah. So that's more important,
Yes.
that, that guilt of not doing something because we cannot be everywhere.
तो कहानी बोल दी मैंने, सॉरी.
हिंदी में बोल सकते हैं.
नहीं मैंने तो कहानी ही बोल दी.
वही कहानी सुनना है हम. आपकी कहानी तो है जिससे लोग कुछ ड्राइव
ये
करके
वाले
ले
हम
जा
वापस भी
पाएंगे.
कर सकते हैं, तब हमारे मेरे आंसर्स थोड़े से और प्रॉम्प्ट हो जाएंगे, भी तो स्पॉन्टेनियस थे.
हाँ नहीं, स्पॉन्टेनियस आंसर्स आर बेसिकली इमोशंस. वही हमारे को ड्राइव करने हैं, वही समझने हैं हमें.
ठीक है.
तो मतलब हम ये समझ सकते हैं कि हर चीज हम नहीं कर सकते. एवरीथिंग इज नॉट द मूल मंत्रा दैट इट फ्रॉम द आउटसाइड लुक्स लाइक यस एवरीथिंग इज देयर, बट एक्चुअली what is going behind that effort is more important. Like you mentioned, a supportive husband, It's such a basic thing that we often overlook in a society, that if your spouse is supportive enough, then life becomes so easy.
Yeah, it definitely.
Then children,
अच्छा बच्चा.
हाँ अच्छा बच्चा इन द सेंस कि वो बच्चे हमारे को कहाँ स्ट्रेंथ दे देते हैं वो हम रियलाइज नहीं कर पाते हैं बेसिकली.
Absolutely,
और
absolutely.
दैट बिकम्स द बेस फॉर व्हाट वी आर एस्टैब्लिशिंग. Thanks. So, like, and on the other hand, also, I would like to understand that there is a traditional family, okay, and the traditional family has certain expectations that you have to be available at all times whenever there is a family demand, right? So, how do you manage that when there is a professional thing also happening, your personal life is also there, you're missing out on some parts in your personal life about your own self, about your children, about your home, and then there is a family commitment that comes up and you have to certainly do that. That is the expectation. So, how do you feel at that?
So, Chinmay, even though I have been working since I was in 12th standard, way long when I was a child, in fact, not so grown up as well, but I've always been into the social circle, be it my friend circle, be it my family circle, relatives. I've always been surrounded by people, and I love that. So, whatever may it be, whether I am, very tired for the day, even if there is a party thrown by another family, relative, or a friend, close friend, or maybe a, far off friend also, I hardly miss those. I make it a point, I go socialize, and that brings me back, revives me for the next day's strength to work. Yes, certain times we have to, do away with certain things, but I think getting along with people or maybe throwing parties is something that rejuvenates me, calls me back into action once again. I don't feel tired, or I'm not a person who can be in silos and, be by myself, or maybe need more time for me, need more time for myself and stay alone. So not that. Even if I have worked for say 12 hours, 13 hours in a day, and the evening I am invited by someone, or if I have to throw, a get together, a small or something like that, I can probably manage that, and I love to do that.
So where does that strength come from?
That gives me strength. So I know, somebody meditates, does yoga. I don't do any of those. I know it's not the right thing to do at this age now, but certainly my meditation is getting along with people. My yoga is talking and laughing with my family, with my close friends, people whom I love. I love to be with, children around me and sit with them, chat to them, or probably have a small get together, cook for everyone. This is what I enjoy doing.
That's certainly amazing, because we have very contrasting views when we go out to meet women and say they're like, there's so much of expectation from the family that it overburdens them when they are going about doing their personal stuff, and they don't get time for their personal stuff. So it's a beautiful way to look at things in this way, that the family is basically rejuvenating you in that sense. But were there moments when you felt that, I have to take this stand and I have to tell my family, no, I'm not doing this. This is my Ziddi moment. I am getting Ziddi over what I want for myself.
I would say sometimes it happens, sometimes, not always. But yeah, those are the times when you can really manage to do that, because one of the time, if you demand time for yourself, I think that should be granted. If not, you take that moment for yourself. But the person that I am, of course, I don't think somebody can compel me to do something which I don't want to do. Yes, family commitments are there. It sometimes becomes a little demanding, but you can set a limit to that. You can talk about it. In a way, you can make others understand also. Yeah, you know, there is one thing that takes me back always to think that why should I be only doing this?
Yes.
Which is the decision making. You see, I feel so pressurized since my day of childhood, because my father used to trust me for all his decisions. I have seen my elder brother trusting me for all his decisions, and the same rule was followed by my later family also. So sometimes I feel, why should I decide which restaurant to go? Why should I decide which movie to be seen? Why should I decide where to shop? Why should I decide what to be cooked for today? And even the menu to be selected by me only. Why? So this is something that, you know, at times I feel somebody should order that food for me which I love to eat, rather than, you know, I ordering it myself. But on the other side, if you see that they are empowering me, you see, they trust me so much. So it's like, you know, the coin has both sides, and
Yes.
how you see it.
Where you look at is
Yes.
more important. So yeah, that brings us to the takeaway from this segment, which is like balance is not about doing everything. It is about prioritizing what you need to do and doing that without having any guilt at all.
और इनिशियल ईयर्स में ना आप ये बैलेंसिंग वाला पार्ट ना, या तो वो बैलेंस होता ही नहीं है. इफ़ यू आर वेरी वेरी करियर ओरिएंटेड, तो आप क्या करते हो, घर परिवार सब ऐसे साइड में तख्ते पे रख देते हो, भैया कोई फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता, मेरा तो ये 9 to 5 या 10 to 6 ये है, उसके बाद उसमें मुझे कोई फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता, मैं तो अपना उठूँगी, बस्ता उठाऊँगी, चली जाऊँगी, पीछे क्या हो रहा है कुछ पता नहीं है. लेकिन या तो ये, या फिर ये हो कि वो सब करने के चक्कर में आप अपना ये भूल गए, करियर ही छोड़ दो, कि भाई आप बिल्कुल ही मत सोचो उसके बारे में. बट उन सब में भी ये बात है, बैलेंस तभी आ पाता है जब आपके पास सपोर्ट होता है, तब आप सोचते भी पॉजिटिव हो. अगर आपकी सपोर्ट सिस्टम वर्क नहीं करती ना, तो आप धीरे धीरे नेगेटिव होते चले जाते हो. फिर आप उस एक चीज को सैक्रिफाइस कर ही लेते हो, चाहे करियर हो चाहे.
ऐसा नहीं लगता कि जब हम सपोर्ट सीख करना स्टार्ट करते हैं तो सपोर्ट मिल जाता है, लेकिन बैरियर वहां आता है जब हम सीख ही नहीं करते, हम अपने माइंड में ही बैटल्स लड़ रहे होते हैं कि यार मुझे ये करना है, मांगे नहीं मांगे, ये हेल्प लूं या नहीं लूं, इससे ये हो जाएगा ये हो जाएगा. तो वो
सब मेरे साथ तो बहुत हुआ है. ऐसे हुआ है कि मैं जैसे लॉ बैकग्राउंड से थी, तो मुझे ये पता था कि मुझे रात के कुछ भी हो जाए, चाहे 8 साढ़े 8 के बाद में मम्मी अलाउ नहीं करेगी बाहर जाना. तो इस परसीव्ड माइंड के साथ मैंने बार काउंसिल की मेंबरशिप अप्लाई नहीं की. क्यों? क्योंकि मैं 5 साल कोर्ट ज़रूर जाती थी जब मैं पढ़ाई कर रही थी, लेकिन मुझे ये पता था कि अगर मैंने प्रैक्टिस करनी स्टार्ट की, बिकॉज मैं ना ऐसे हाफ हेडेड कोई काम नहीं कर सकती थी. मतलब मेरे को ये होता था कुछ भी करो तो उसको इतने अच्छे से करो कि आप खुद सेटिस्फाइड हो, कि दूसरे की मुझे तो परवाह नहीं, लेकिन खुद के सेटिस्फैक्शन के लिए मुझे वो काम अच्छे से करना होता था. तो मुझे लगता था कि यार मैं वकील कैसे बनूंगी अगर तो मैंने शाम को कोर्ट के बाद में सीनियर के चेम्बर अटेंड नहीं करी, वहाँ पे क्लाइंट्स के साथ बातचीत नहीं सुनी, तो कल की कोर्ट की तैयारी कहाँ से करूँगी. मेरे फादर तो लॉयर थे नहीं, मेरे पास कोई घर पे चेम्बर या वकालत की लाइब्रेरी ये सब कुछ भी नहीं था. आई हैड टू स्टार्ट फ्रॉम जीरो.
राइट.
तो उस जीरो के लिए मेरे माइंड में ही था कि ये भैया मम्मी मेरे को जो है 8 बजे के बाद घर नहीं देखेगी तो रोज झंझट होगा, तो इससे अच्छा है कि आप पहले, पूछा ही नहीं मैंने घर वालों से कि मैं ऐसा कर सकती हूँ कि नहीं, क्योंकि मैंने आगे तक देख लिया था कि कोई वे आउट है ही नहीं. ऑल माई सीनियर्स वुड हैव बीन ऑन अदर पार्ट ऑफ द सिटी, फ्रॉम वेयर टू कम बैक होम इट टेक्स 1.5 आवर. और 6 बजे के बाद कोर्ट से वहाँ पहुँचना, और उसके बाद में फिर कुछ तो 2 घंटे की मीटिंग होगी, कम से कम 2-3 घंटे, फिर आपको पढ़ाई करनी पड़ती है, फिर आपको ब्रीफ्स बनानी पड़ती है, आपको अगले दिन की भी तैयारी करनी पड़ती है. तो कहाँ से होगा ये सब? तो मैंने सोचा बिफोर आई मूव अहेड इनटू दिस एंड आई बी नोवेयर, लेट मी चूज अनदर डायरेक्शन, डू अ जॉब, एटलीस्ट अपने मन की थोड़ा तो कर लूँ कि पढ़ी हूँ तो ये शादी कराए हैं, उसके पहले कुछ तो कर लूँ. शादी के बाद का भी नहीं पता था कि क्या होने वाला है. यहाँ आके अलग ही सीन था. ये लोग सारे बोलने लगे तुम प्रैक्टिस करो. मैंने कहा भैया अब नहीं हो पाएगा. 2-2.5 साल निकल गए हैं. यहाँ मेरे को ना, मतलब मेरी सगाई होती, मेरे ससुर जी बोलते थे और राहुल भी बोलते थे, बोले तुम प्रैक्टिस करना, तुम बार काउंसिल की मेंबरशिप कर दो, यहाँ आके तुम आराम से प्रैक्टिस कर सकती हो, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. अपने घर में भी कई जने हैं, भंडारी है ना, PL भंडारी सा, और तो बोले बहुत अच्छे, और हेमंत मामा का तो था, लेकिन फिर भी ऐसे बोले थे कि भाई है फैमिली में, तुमको सपोर्ट भी हो जाएगा और कुछ नहीं है, यू कैन स्टार्ट प्रैक्टिसिंग. तब तक मैं आगे बढ़ चुकी थी मेरे उस करियर में, एंड आई स्टार्टेड लविंग द जॉब दैट आई वाज डूइंग, एंड आई वांटेड टू परस्यू दैट मोर फर्दर. तो लोग मुझसे पूछते थे ना, तो मैं यही बोलती थी कि मैं लीगल डिपार्टमेंट में मूव हो जाऊंगी बैंकिंग की, बट मैं कभी नहीं हुई. कभी मैंने सोचा भी नहीं, क्योंकि मुझे इतना इंटरेस्टिंग लगता था ना लोगों से मिलना, कस्टमर सर्विस से, सेल्स और इस तरीके से. तो फिर मैं पीछे मुड़ के कभी देखा ही नहीं. जब बैंकिंग बहुत ज़्यादा हो गया तो शिफ्ट. उस वक्त मैंने अपनी प्रायोरिटी ढूंढी थी, जब निर्वी होने वाली थी ना, तब मुझे ऐसा लगा था कि ये बैंक के पीछे पीछे अपन अपनी ज़िंदगी बैंक के नाम हो जाएगी अगर अपन ने अपने बारे में नहीं सोचा तो. अब जो अगला बच्चा है उसके साथ खेलना है, कूदना है. ये रंगोली ने मुझे इंस्पायर किया था. वहाँ मैं घास में लेटे घूमते छोटे छोटे बच्चों को देखती थी, उनके पेरेंट्स को देखती थी, तो मुझे मन होता था कि यार मैं भी इनके साथ खेलूँ ऐसे ही. तो ईशव तो बड़ा हो गया. तो फिर जब निर्वी हुई तो दैट वाज द टाइम, मैंने कहा अगर बैंक में रहूँगी तो ये नहीं कर पाऊँगी. इसलिए आपको सोचना पड़ेगा क्या चाहिए आपको अब लाइफ में. अ वेरी डिसाइसिव टाइम, क्योंकि दैट वाज द पीक ऑफ माय करियर. आई वुड हैव बीन वेयर नॉट वेयर, तो पक्का था. बट उस वक्त उस चीज़ को जब मैंने काट के छोड़ा ना, तो मैंने पीछे मुड़ के कभी देखा नहीं. वरना हमेशा सेक्रीफाइस, एक ब्रांच मैनेजर के कार्ड से, जिस कार्ड पे कोई डेजिग्नेशन नहीं हो, कार्ड ही ना हो, सालों तक तो कार्ड भी नहीं था यहाँ पे. आप कुछ भी कर रहे थे, क्या कुछ कर रहे थे, लेकिन बहुत टफ होता है ये. पर वहाँ पे आपको है ना फिर प्रायोरिटाइज करना पड़ा था. बहुत ज़रूरी था. बैलेंस तो चलो होता चला जा रहा था लाइफ में, बैलेंस की कभी दिक्कत आई नहीं.
नहीं, that is the crux. You know, those things, that moment when you took a call कि मेरे को ये चीज़ करियर को छोड़ के और मुझे ये चीज़ जीनी है, those are the tough moments. तो कभी इन चीज़ों के लिए कभी रिग्रेट महसूस होता है कि ये
अब नहीं होता.
ओके.
पहले होता था जब मैंने मेरे बेटे को समय नहीं दिया. और मैं समय नहीं दिया इन द सेंस, ऐसा नहीं है 6 बजे के बाद मैं उसके लिए अवेलेबल होती थी, पर फिर भी मैं मिस करती थी उसकी दिन की जो एक्टिविटीज़ थी. उसने आज ये नया खाया या ये ऐसा किया. बट देन व्हेन आई जस्ट you can't turn back the things which have gone. So what you can do is correct it for your future, and that's how we correct it. We planned the second child, and I promised to myself I'm going to be at home with her, be whatever. मैं उसके साथ time spend करने वाली हूँ. And when you start thinking about things for yourself, it's like the whole world conspires to get it done. So I'm just forgetting the first line how it says, but
किसी चीज को बुरी शिद्दत से चाहो तो सारी कायनात उससे मिलाने में.
हाँ बिल्कुल बिल्कुल ऐसा ही हुआ. सो मैंने ऐसा सोचा था कि मैं अपनी डॉटर को 5 साल तक स्कूल नहीं भेजूंगी. शी विल डू होम स्कूलिंग. सो थैंक्स टू कोविड उसका एडमिशन हमने कराया व्हेन शी वाज 3 year old. But next 2 years she was not going to school. We did a homeschooling. So of course ऐसा. So up to she was 5 year old, she was with me. When she turned 5 months, I started taking her to my work. She was brought up in my office until COVID struck. And post COVID, 2 years we were at home. So again, she turned 5 by this time. Now she was big enough to start going to school, understand things, staying back at home with the help of family as well as my domestic helps. And now she's 8 today, and quite independent, because I always want my children to be independent. And that's how you have to build up. अगर आप बहुत insecure होने लगोगे और आप हमेशा ये सोचोगे अरे ये कैसे होगा वो कैसे होगा, तो नहीं हो सकता. You have to be confident first of all in whatever you are doing. You have to plan your things, you have to execute, delegate, then only things can fall into place. Most of all, one thing that I keep saying to myself is be positive in whatever you do. If your thoughts are not positive, they won't convert for you. And nobody is going to bring those conversions for you until you strive for it yourself.
So that's the takeaway. Law of attraction actually works. So भगवान से जो मांग रहे हो सोच समझ के मांगना कि वो दे सकते हैं और क्या सुन के क्या देंगे वो आपको नहीं पता है. So yes, law of attraction works, and we should be positive, we should think positive, and we should set our boundaries, focus on what we really want in life, and don't look back and regret. That's perfect.
You can always improve. If you
Yes.
keep regretting, then you probably lose the next moment
Next
also.
moment of improvement, next chance of improvement. Yes. So next segment is basically fashion and personal lifestyle. So we'd like to understand, um, what is there a signature style to what you're wearing, or does it keep changing with the different roles that you play in the day, because you are juggling into different worlds, right?
So, I'm not always seen into signature style, but yes, I adore a style of myself, which is I like to wear clean lines. I love minimalist, uh, looks. So I'm not overdressed so far as I know myself, and that's how I like to be. But yes, I want to dress like the occasion, as per the occasion. I want to feel into my corporate wear when I'm at work. I want to feel, uh, rather, I would say, I feel good when I'm dressed well. That gives me a lot of confidence, boosts an extra energy into me, because that's a part of your personality, you see. And if you're not well dressed, or for example, if you are not dressed as per the occasion, you probably feel out of the place. You start thinking about yourself when you see others, better than you, or probably, for example, going into a traditional, party, and वहाँ मैं अगर कोट सूट में चली जाती हूँ, so I will be an odd one out of, so there I don't want to feel as if, I am not a person who belongs to that place. So I always want a place for myself in a gathering or in a circle where I am going. Be it office, if it is an office and it's a traditional day, I don't mind wearing a sari. And more than that, I would say a sari which is a traditional one. Well, I feel an Indian sari is one of the most, formal wear, which a woman, if she adores a sari, she looks the best. So I have been carrying this attire in my banking years, in my next career also, along in the handicraft industry also, and I feel, the respect that a woman gets by dressing up well, and also in the Indian wears, is more. I get a lot of compliments when I'm in the Indian attire. So I make it nowadays. Now I make it special so that I'm not seen as just a sari woman, but I love dressing up in various forms of clothes. Uh, so if it is
That's
a, if
that's
it is a,
really nice. And do you also like wearing casual? Like, are you in your casual attire, like wearing t-shirts or loose wear and relaxing and chilling, those kind of things?
So after 6:37, I'm found in my casual wear. It's a Sunday for me. Every evening is a Sunday for me. And when you're out, of course, you need to have some very light clothes. You're going out with family nowadays. We are supposed to take the backpacks and move on. So आपके पास दो jeans होती है और variety of t-shirts होनी चाहिए. That's how a lightweight, a holiday which you can enjoy best is without thinking about what to wear, and
Yeah.
what to pair with that and all that stuff. So leaving behind all those things, I like to wear the trendy tees,
Tees
or
and
any kind of tops or these things.
so that makes it light and
Yes,
so
of
you
course.
yes.
Sometimes
So
to express yourself also,
yeah.
you see, because
And
not always you can just dress up. At times you need to express yourself to your own self, not maybe for the gentry or for the public.
so that brings me to the next question, which is, do you actually like there is a stigma that we have to wear what is appropriate for that particular thing. So in that appropriation, does that overpower the feeling that I don't want to wear it, yet I have to go and do that because that is appropriate for that particular
So
thing?
Chinmay, I remember a very close family member would always push me into खाओ अपने पसंद का पहनो दूसरों के पसंद का. And this saying never worked with me. I always used to confront and say no to this, because I would never wear something which I don't like and somebody else wants me to wear. I'm not talking about my husband, of course, so don't take me wrong. But not to please the public, I'm going to wear something until I myself feel that I should be wearing this. That's the only thing which, since childhood, is imbibed into me, and I carry it forward. This freedom one should not give to anybody else. You see, it's a freedom of one own self, and I think every individual has their own choices, and they should be allowed to. Rather, they should seek to do this. It's not about allowing as well.
Yeah.
That's their own
Who's anybody
freedom.
to allow?
Yeah, it's their
Yeah.
own freedom. So even if it is a traditional wear, it's not necessary to be into the same color code, or maybe the same kind of this thing. You can have your own traditional wear. So until you enjoy wearing the similar kind and become the party theme, adore to the party theme, it's okay.
So,
I'm okay. I don't feel out of place if I'm not into the theme also at times. It's okay. Maybe something else pushed me. Maybe I have a new dress which I want to take on. That's okay.
Yeah, so you also talked about the power of expression in
Yeah.
dressing, right? So what role do you think prints would play in imbibing that spirit? So would you select prints that would embody your emotion for that particular time, or do you think a casual floral or pattern things that are more into getting into your outfit?
So if you ask me, I believe that I will more fall for the mood codes that I would like to wear. Some nice messages, some positive thoughts, and then these days I'm inclined towards twinning with my daughter, sometimes with my husband and family when we are out on holiday. Not every
Not in
time, but I
regular ones.
enjoy wearing those as well. So, positivity is one. And, since first you have to think, when do people wear t-shirts? What are the occasions that you take the t-shirts on for? For me, it's a relaxing moment. So I can also go for a om kind of a thing, or something that keeps me calm, a chanting or these things, or maybe a Buddha print. I'm just saying generic, but these things create a good and a positive environment towards, besides you.
Yeah.
Second is if you have a very, small one-liner quotes, or, which again, somebody who's reading out is getting some good vibes
Vibe out of
inside.
it. Yeah.
So I love to do that. Some messages towards sustainability would work on a Earth Day, or so many days that we celebrate.
Yeah.
Then when you are on holiday, you need something
That
or
has
probably
holiday vibes.
yeah. So some humorous messages. When you are with friends, getting together. So t-shirts, I believe, is one attire that makes you free from all those things. आपने वो tie नहीं लगानी, आपको वो coat नहीं पहनना, आपको वो साड़ी पिन नहीं करनी. You don't have to wear too many jewelries to look good in that. But it is just simply you. You can express, you can be free. So
You
I
can
think it's the idea of having some very personalized prints or moods, which can reflect in your wearing. That is how it can be, and I believe Ziddi prints would bring in those
Yeah.
thoughts over your prints.
Yes, definitely. And we are also thinking about customizing it as per the customer.
Oh,
So
that's
it's going to
great.
be hyper personalized.
That's great. That's
very,
great.
very soon.
That sounds
So
so
yeah,
interesting.
thanks for bringing us out. Yes. So
ज़्यादा हो गया.
yeah. So now I'll come back to the same thing. So when you are going out to buy things, so you're more of a Myntra, Amazon person, or it's like you give chance to individual brands, or you go out physically shopping.
So I love exploring, Chinmay. Anything which is new, maybe some of the startups that we see around, we read about them, the interesting facts about the background of that particular brand. I do not hesitate to trying one. Well, Amazon mantra are more of your daily Google, you want something at home, immediately go order there. I never order my clothes from Amazon mantra. Well, I have a lot of my shopping list, pre-listed shopping on Amazon and Mantra, which we do. So starting from your cosmetics to these things, which you can, just put the brand and just get it over. Well, when it comes to some interesting brands and products, and especially for clothes, probably I love to browse and then check out
Okay.
things, order them also, and probably in the first experience, if it doesn't suit me, I can, not necessary that, same experience I would have with the another e-com that I'm willing to try.
Willing to try, yeah.
So that's okay with me. I mean, I can experiment.
Okay, so you like experimenting other than Myntra and this thing. And what is one attire that you would like to see coming in the Indian market? One thing that you saw, you liked, and you felt that यार ये trend में आना चाहिए, ये बहुत बढ़िया चीज है.
ये तो बहुत रैंडम क्वेश्चन कहाँ से उठा के लाया है भाई, बता तो देता पहले.
कोई भी ऐसी चीज,
अब
मतलब
भाई-
आपको लगता है कि यार ये वाली चीज है, ये तो भाई ये मतलब होनी चाहिए, ये सबको पहननी चाहिए. और ऐसे
फीमेल के लिए बोलूँ ना,
हाँ, फीमेल के लिए
लुंगी और टी शर्ट.
लुंगी और टी शर्ट फॉर फीमेल. वाह,
और क्या होना चाहिए यार,
बहुत बढ़िया.
बिकॉज हाँ
that
होना
is
चाहिए.
actually
The
a
only
very
thing which we are
very
not
comfortable
wearing-
attire.
हाँ बिल्कुल, सब
उससे
लुंगी
लुंगी
टी
से
शर्ट.
ज्यादा कंफर्टेबल कुछ भी नहीं है
हाँ,
दुनिया
तुम्हारी
में.
टी शर्ट को भी तो प्रमोट करना है ना यार.
हाँ, बिल्कुल.
तो तुम अगला
लुंगी और टी शर्ट फॉर मेन, भैया लिख लो.
नहीं, for
ये
women.
लॉन्च करेंगे.
फॉर विमेन. एंड द रियल लुंगी, नॉट द वन से वो जो
हाँ,
साउथ वाली नहीं चाहिए,
हाँ.
चेक्स वाली जो एक्चुअली जो
हाँ.
वो लुंगी होती है ना, वो वाली लुंगी हो और उसके साथ टी शर्ट हो, एकदम मस्त लगेगा. क्यों? बिकॉज हम डिवाइडेड स्कर्ट्स तो पहनते ही है ना,
Right.
लेकिन हम वो फ्लोरल प्रिंट्स पहनते हैं. हमने कभी ये चेक्स वाला ट्राई नहीं किया अभी. बट ये ट्रेंड में अगर आप ले आओगे ना, आई एम टेलिंग यू, फिर देखो आप, मस्त मजेदार एकदम. हाँ मस्त एकदम. सीरियसली ब्रेक कुछ तो यार, कहीं आपको ना कोई ब्रेक तो देना ही पड़ेगा ना, आइस को कहीं ब्रेक करो इसको. एंड इमेजिन द रियल ट्रेडिशनल दोज, वो कलकत्ता वाली जो लुंगी होती है ना, जो वहीं से जाती है पूरे इंडिया में सब जगह जाती है, जो मॉमडन वाली लुंगी होती है, वही वाली लुंगी. उसमें भी वाइट में वो चेक्स आती हैं, एंड देन यू हैव दोज. सो डिवाइडेड स्कर्ट के बदले आप वो पहनो. अब ट्रेंड लाना है तो फिर कुछ अलग करना पड़ेगा.
That's nice. That's a
मेरे
very
दिमाग में
very
सबसे
nice.
पहले यही थॉट आया भैया.
बहुत ही अच्छा था. And this was a very very nice conversation in this segment, because getting to know fashion from somebody who's juggling in a lot of periods in life into different worlds is very interesting. And what we can take away is fashion is not just a trend. It's more about comfort. It's more about emotions. It's more about cultural identity and personal choice. Personal expression is what is most important. So a wardrobe should be more functional and at the same time no compromise on style. So it should be stylish as well.
You should express yourself.
Yes. So now we move on to the most interesting segment that ever comes in any kind of conversations. It is rapid fire.
Okay.
So our rapid fire is not very very strict. So you don't have to give one word. You can give us a sentence, but it has to be a crisp emotion that first comes to your mind, right? So one habit that keeps you productive.
Prioritization. I think I've been telling this throughout my conversation.
Yes. A personal mantra you live by.
I think stay honest with whatever you are doing.
Nice. One thing you tell your 25-year-old self.
Be confident and always stay positive about what you are thinking.
Right. One skill every working woman must learn.
Time management, that's very important, and that is the baseline for any successful women.
One stereotype about married women at work that needs to be crushed.
That they are not good at everything. They can't handle businesses or they can't become professional women. So, this is something, this is a myth that they cannot go into high positions and they are just made for, running homes. They cannot run businesses. This is a myth and it needs to be crushed.
Nice. Work or home, where do you feel more in control?
Nowhere.
No.
Nowhere.
And where do you control the most?
I think both the places because for me it's like I think I'm very dominating. So I'm being very honest again. Like I come back to my own mantra and say I'm being honest in saying I'm a dominating person. I don't like to be controlled. I control.
Key takeaway from this rapid fire is that even the most accomplished women have very simple, actionable habits that they apply in their daily life and that keeps them going. So this is a Ziddi hamper for you from our team for coming to
interesting.
us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And this is basically a paper mache tray,
Okay.
which you can use for plantations as well. It's completely waterproof.
Yeah.
Then these are crochet flowers, hand knitted by rural women
That's
from our
beautiful.
villages.
Beautiful.
Then we have a calendar for you wherein you can plan your activities with your family. It's an emotional quotient calendar with activities that you can do with your family every month. And then since you mentioned you like cooking, we have a apron for you with a Ziddi print on it.
I thought you were just doing t-shirts and regular wears.
So we are basically
nice.
trying to fulfill all needs that a woman can have in playing different roles across her life.
Okay,
We are not limited to doing that. We have aprons, we have tote bags, we have large category that you can go and browse at www.ziddiprints.com. Thank you.
Wish you all the best.
Thank you so much. And before we wrap up, we would like we would like you to leave our audience with one golden message that you would like to give them. And also, if they want to reach out to you, if they want to converse further with you, then please share your details as to where they can get in touch with you.
See, everyone has one life. I would like to say, live it to the fullest. Enjoy your every single moment. There will be problems, there will be hassles, but just look at the next, day, which can be a better day for you, which can be full of love, which can be full of life. So try to live every moment of your life and never regret. Never regret in your past. Never feel guilty of anything that you might have missed in your life. Work on the repair work. Work on the repair. Work on the next, repair work, which can create a better day for you, which can, try to reduce the guilt which you may have earned because of not spending time with a particular thing. Because if you are not here, you are there. You are somewhere. So you're doing something better than not doing anything. So, every working woman should first respect her own self and then you get respected from others. So that's the only thing that I would want to communicate to everyone.
And if people would want to write to you, get in touch with you, any social media handles?
My single email ID that I think I have been having since I was supposed to have an email ID, which is jayaj1978@gmail.com.
Yeah, we'll put it in the comments below.
Thank you.
Right. Thank you. And this particular conversation, I would like you to check out www.ziddiprints.com for more inspiring designs about women just like Jayaji, who are unbeatable, unstoppable, and Ziddi enough to live life on their own terms. Also, please like, share and subscribe our channel and share this video with friends who need to see this, right? Thank you guys. Thank you for joining in.
Thank you, Ziddi Prince. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you so much, ma'am. We are privileged. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you guys. Bye-bye.